Room 9 of the Glenhaven Motel in St. Thomas contains a bed and television, bedside stand with a lamp, a desk, and a bathroom. Jamie High, a 40-year-old real estate agent, checks into Room 9 on December the 18th, 2014. He has nowhere else to go. He and his wife are separated, and he's facing charges of shoving her and spitting on her. He's on bail in order to abstain from alcohol and live with his girlfriend. But his girlfriend found a bottle of alcohol and kicked him out, so he has to check into the motel. The next day, Friday, December the 19th, brings even more trouble. His girlfriend goes to court and withdraws herself as his surety, his bail supervisor. That means police have a bench warrant for his arrest, and they can throw him in jail. Later that same day, his wife files for divorce and custody of their children, whom he already doesn't see as much as he wants. Jamie returns to Room 9 a second night. He takes stock of the things in the motel room. His life is in shambles. Maybe he should just end it. We spend our lives in rooms. The rooms we pass through become chapters in a story. The story is never complete because some rooms we keep private. The very private family of Jamie High will not let a stranger into their rooms, so we must use some imagination to see into them. Even so, those rooms tell a story. Born in 1974, Jamie High grows up in a cozy bungalow down a gravel road a few kilometers outside the small town of Dunnville, Ontario. A row of fir trees screen the house from the gravel road. You must imagine the rooms inside from what his family will tell you. A kitchen big enough for dance parties. Bedrooms for the 3 children with windows that let in the breeze from the woods, the pond out back, nearby corn and soybean fields. The basement where Jamie plays ball hockey with his friends. His sister Jessica's room, where Jamie tucks her in for the night and tells her bedtime stories, even if his friends are waiting on him to play. All 3 children sleeping in one room on Christmas Eve waiting for Santa Claus. When Jamie High marries a Dunnville girl, Angie, in 2003, there's not a room big enough in the town for the 300 guests, so the celebration is held at Jamie's home. You do not need to know the fine details of rooms to gauge the love inside them. Jamie and Angie High use rooms to build a life together. Jamie sells houses, then apartment buildings and businesses. The couple buys a house in London and renovates it, sells it, and buys another house to renovate and sell. The rooms add up. Jamie and Angie buy a cottage in Port Stanley on Lake Erie, and a boat, an RV, and settle in the small hamlet of Union in a house of many rooms, beautiful and brick solid, a home for their 2 children. In a dressing room, Jamie High holds court. Jamie's played sports all his life, and he's comfortable in the company of other athletes. He loves to play hockey and joins the Friday afternoon classic Flyers vs. Bruins Hockey League in St. Thomas. When he's in his 30s, he joins the gym and starts to lift weights. At the gym, Jamie meets a fitness instructor named Julie Ferguson. In the summer of 2014, Jamie leaves his home in Union with Angie and moves into Julie Ferguson's house in St. Thomas. There's a door from the side deck to Julie Ferguson's kitchen. Jamie High and Julie Ferguson share some good times. But during an argument the evening of September 28, 2014, Julie tells Jamie to find someplace else to sleep that night. Jamie shows up at that side door and tries to talk Julie into letting him in. Julie's on the phone with a family member at the time. Worried about what she hears, that family member calls St. Thomas police. A cruiser spots Jamie's car driving away from the neighborhood. The standard cell at Elgin Middlesex Detention Centre in London measures about 7.5 by 11 feet. Room enough for 2 bunks, a toilet, and a sink. There's a small window to the outside, and a small window with a view of the range inside. Meals are handed through a narrow hatchway below the range window. The toughest men on the range are called servers, so called because they get the job and the power of handing the meals through the meal trays. Each range has a shower, unmonitored and ideal for beatings. The correctional officers sit in a station down the hall. They cannot see or hear into the unit. The night police find Jamie High outside Julie Ferguson's house, they try to give him a breathalyzer test. Jamie refuses and they arrest him. Police call his estranged wife, Angie. She tells him Jamie spit on her once and shoved her once. Police arrest Jamie for domestic assault and take him to jail. No one knows what happens to Jamie in jail. He does not talk about it much. But he tells everyone if he has to go back, he will surely die. Once he gets out of jail, Jamie High can no longer live on his own. He's released on bail under the supervision of his father in his childhood home in Dunnville. That does not work out, so his girlfriend Julie becomes his new surety, his bail supervisor. He moves into her house, the same house where his legal troubles began. He sees a psychiatrist, and the first time, Jamie opens up about some of the rooms inside himself. I've been anxious my whole life, but it's gotten worse the past 2 years, he tells the psychiatrist. I worry all the time. I panic. I get tired. I can't concentrate, but I can't fall asleep. I can't enjoy anything. Jamie is diagnosed as abusing alcohol and having a generalized anxiety disorder and a mild depressive disorder. The psychiatrist prescribes Paxil for anxiety and advises him to see a counselor. 6 weeks later, on December 1st, 2014, the psychiatrist sees Jamie for 20 minutes. Jamie seems to be doing better. But Jamie's not doing better. His friend Dylan Eldred finds him in the Glenhaven Motel and takes him to the St. Thomas Elgin General Hospital. Jamie tells the nurses that he feels suicidal, hopeless and helpless, with thoughts in his head that just aren't right. Jamie is admitted as a voluntary patient. He gets a private room, number 9. That's funny, Dylan thinks. That's the same number of the motel room, the same number Jamie wears in hockey. That's a good thing, right? About 9:30 that night, Dylan leaves Jamie in room 9, safe and sound. A concrete bed, toilet and sink, stained walls. That's cell 15 in the segregation unit of Elgin Middlesex Detention Center. Only 4 hours after getting a hospital bed, Jamie is back in jail, only this time in segregation. In his hospital room, Jamie begins texting his girlfriend, Julie Ferguson. St. Thomas police find out, head to the hospital, and arrest him for breaking his bail conditions. The hospital didn't have to let Jamie go, and the police didn't have to take Jamie, but they take him to jail. Now he's got a new room. Mental health experts consider a segregation cell one of the worst rooms for anyone suffering a breakdown or struggling with mental illness. For the next 2 days and nights, Jamie paces his cell while his mind wanders through strange rooms. Sometimes he just stands at the door, or the sink, or the toilet, or the bed, talking to himself. Sometimes Jamie shakes and talks nonsense. Sometimes he lies on the floor, sometimes naked. Nurses at the jail think he's coming off drugs. On the morning of December 23rd, 2014, correctional officers put Jamie in a wheelchair and, under a heavy protective gown, take him to a room of the jail that is connected by video to courtroom 101 in the St. Thomas courthouse. Jamie needs to find a new surety or get new bail condition. He needs something. His appearance and behavior shock those in the courtroom. As Jamie mutters mostly indiscernible sounds, the court tries to figure out how he ended up in jail, what he is doing showing up by video in this courtroom, why he's not in the hospital room, and how to get him medical help. Justice of the Peace Susan Whalen decides to have Jamie brought back the next day to allow his lawyer to arrange a new surety. The hearing ends at 9:56 a.m. It is 2 days before Christmas. Back in cell 15 after the court hearing, Jamie paces the floor. From the logs of correctional officers observing Jamie, 10:20 a.m., Jamie is leaning on bunk. 10:30 a.m., Jamie is lying on floor. 10:43 a.m., Jamie is vital signs absent. Correctional officers start CPR. In a room at the London Health Sciences Centre in London, at 11:30 a.m., December 23rd, 2014, Jamie High is pronounced dead. Jamie's family says goodbye privately in a funeral home in Dunnville. At Jamie's memorial service in the Dunnville Legion, December 28th, the line of mourners files around the block. Few of the mourners know how Jamie had moved from room to room the past year. From his wife's house to his girlfriend's house, to a motel, a hospital, a police station, a jail, to this Legion. He's only 40. He's Jamie High. Everybody in Dunnville knows Jamie High. What happened? The Ontario Coroner's Office will try to find answers at an inquest that begins in an ordinary meeting room of the Stonebridge Motel starting November 7, 2016. The London Free Press has been trying to find out what happened to Jamie High as well. In the next few weeks, we will reveal what we have learned about Jamie High. We will try to explain how Jamie moved from room to room and what happened inside each. We will tell the story of Jamie High.